Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you again with yet another video. Today, I'm going to talk about a powerful comment regarding the thinking black man. A powerful comment regarding the thinking black man. Because, everyone remembers my video where educated lames and nerds should go from here, part 1. Now, from a gentleman named, whose screen name is The Inner Circle, had a very powerful comment, which I'll read for you. I'll read for you per his permission. And because it really sets the tone for the vision I have for the thinking black man. Now, of course, he uses those other terms that I said I wasn't going to use anymore, except maybe in context. And I'll use it, I'll read his comment fully. But it struck me because it took a lot of foresight to really come up with this. I mean, and it's a relatively brief comment, but it speaks volumes. It provides a direction and something that all the thinking black men should be aspiring to. Anyway, I'll read it. And the inner circle, just shout yourself out in the comments, and I appreciate it. And as an aside, I just have to say for all of my commenters, y'all some powerful brothers. I mean, man, it's like I really enjoy going through the comments. Even with some of the trolls sometimes, but you know, people just have some powerful stuff to say. And even the few women who will comment like positively, they got some interesting things to say. So I want to just thank everyone for commenting. But let me read this comment. All right. I fully agree with this video. I think back to one of my favorite movies, The Godfather. One scene that struck me was the meeting Vito Corleone had with all of the families across the country in order to settle the beef they had with Tattaglia's. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. My apologies. Anyway, the Dons who showed stretched from NYC, where they were headquartered, to as far as Kansas City. Now, the violence, illegal activities, and underhandedness notwithstanding, this is the point we have to get to. We have to start forming local groups of like-minded folks who have a completely different mindset than the typical sheep who's only interested in what outfit Cookie Lyons is going to wear on the next episode of Empire. Okay, here's Rom's comment. Ouch. Anyway, let me keep going. Within these local networks of nerds and educated lames, we can start forming local cooperatives that look into ways we can start building our own infrastructure and eventually start connecting with other co-ops near and far. From technology centers to distribution bases to community farms to grocery stores to eventually having our own neighborhood farmers markets. Members only, just like at Sam's Club. And credit unions to lend to our own people instead of having to rely on other ethnic groups to do the heavy lifting. But instead of taking the revenue and blowing it all on a weekend bender at a strip joint like so many of us have done in the past, we split a portion of it to share evenly while leaving the rest to eventually form a huge pot. With that pot, we not only start buying our own protection in the neighborhoods, but also use as leverage to fund our own political candidates, or at the very least, have way more influence on the ones currently in office. When you have millions banked in a chain of flourishing neighborhoods, the local school boards and city councils start paying attention and pass laws that cater to you without much effort. That's how other ethnic groups have done it. We need to start doing the same. And while it's vital to start forming networks amongst ourselves, it's just as important for us to start affecting these young men growing up as well. A key reason as to why so many young men fall off is because they grow up feeling insulated, ostracized, and alienated by their peers within their own neighborhoods and schools for getting good grades and staying out of trouble. As most of us painfully grow up finding out, Being an educated lame nerd or geek gives you no social cachet within most black communities. Couple that with the fact that the vast majority of young black women revile such nerds and educated lames with a passion that words cannot fully describe, and you can see how a lot of them start saying to themselves, well, if I can't beat them, might as well join them. Whatever network or chain of networks that are formed must give these men an incentive to continue pressing on. Imagine having a well-paying job doing the books at one of those community farms as a carrot for you finishing school or something to that effect. Just a thought or 10. And once again, I want to thank the inner circle for that comment. Now, one of the things, because here's the thing, when I did that video and talked about forming networks and all of that, um, I wasn't just talking. It wasn't just something to do. It just wasn't a video that day. It wasn't like clickbait or anything like that. It's something that I envision more people doing because it's something I already do now. People don't realize. I mean, people don't realize. Like I've said several times on a video. Wait, excuse me. Anyway, I've said several times on a video that, there was a while I wasn't really pushing my relationship books or any books for that matter. But I wasn't totally idle either. I was still networking. One of the things we have to do, we can't just come on, do these videos and or comment on these videos and say, yeah, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. There's a lot of people who do that. Now is the time to move forward. Now, one of the things a lot of brothers can do is really first start, just seeking out the like-minded thinking black men in your vicinity. Now, maybe it might be online you have to reach out. Okay, fine. Do that. But, if you have them in your neighborhood, if you have them at your work, reach out. Start talking to the brothers. Just make connections. They don't have to be that deep. But make the social connections. And as far as the brothers who are on, who are doing the work, who've already done some work. I mean, you have some brothers out there. They're forming schools, businesses, religious organizations, whatever, study groups. They're out there doing the work. I remember years ago, I attended a function, and it was political in nature. I'll just say that. I don't want to get too deep into it. And this is way back in the day. And it struck me that virtually every brother there had some type of study group or was doing something. They were active somehow politically or maybe in the streets or something. The brothers out there are already doing it. One of the things is, not only reaching out to thinking black men, but also, supporting. Let's support the blogs and books and whatever of the truly thinking black men out there. Even if it's and that could be monetary, which is always great, but sometimes it could be getting the word out. When we on social media, we could be sharing links to like some brothers really on some thinking stuff. Because it has to go beyond just rhetoric. It has to go beyond YouTube. It has to go beyond social media. It has to grow to the point where we're building real things in the real world. Like many of the brothers that I network with are into real estate. They're into real estate and they're into buying up properties and stuff. And I mean, the thing is, real estate, no matter what the market does, somebody's always going to need a place to sleep. Somebody is going to need a place to build a home on, or a building on. So, and that's a powerful thing. And see, there's a lot, I know a lot of thinking black men who are in that area. They either flipping houses, they own property, they're buying property. So that's one area, but then we have so many people on, so many thinking brothers who are on They got some other stuff. Like I actually know a brother, a very very powerful thinking brother who's he's into urban agriculture. In fact, I know a couple urban farmers. We have the talent for whatever. We got a whole bunch of brothers who are tech wizards. A bunch of thinking black men who could probably make a radio out of some rocks or something. Like literally. We're all over. That's the beauty of the thinking black man. You probably look at any industry and find some. Hell, even sports. You got a few brothers who are playing professional sports who are deeper than just running the ball or shooting that basketball. And then we definitely have some business folks. So we definitely reach out where you at. Just start where you at. Reach out in the real world. If there's no one in your vicinity, hey, you know what? Hit the message boards. Go to the blogs, videos of the brothers who are on that thinking man paradigm, that thinking black man paradigm. Because it's that's still, and that's just the first step, just uniting. And the thing is, it isn't unprecedented. There's shoot, the inner circle used that example of the Godfather. Well, shoot, you got brothers out there who, they living that life and they having some type of cooperation. If anybody ever watched that TV show The Wire, that New Day co-op, that wasn't totally fiction. I'll leave it at that. And you got a lot of people. Even some of these street organizations, street gangs and stuff. A lot of them are very organized now. If they can organize, you're gonna tell me some brothers who can turn rocks into radios can't organize? That's the thing. We have to start thinking in terms of really 7 generations down the road. What are we building? And that has to be the main thing. What are we building? We just going to talk trash about what's jacked up about everything else, or we going to say, what, we just going to sit here and build it. That's why, that's why in my circle, the brothers in my circle, for the most part, about business. For the most part, about business, and even the ones who just maybe have a regular job, they're willing to support that business and they have some ideas. Like if anybody ever check out the podcast on my regular website, my entire focus, I don't even focus on relationships anymore. I'm talking totally about just success in life. Building that business up. Especially business. Because even in my book, Nice Guys and Players, one of the things I said is every man should have a business. So, even in just having that business, you actually expand, and you actually, to really grow that business, you have to network anyway. Back in the day when there were more black bookstores, I had a whole network of them. The bookstores are going away to dinosaur now, but back then I had a whole network, and I realized, I was like, well, wait a minute, just my small business is helping to support other businesses. And that's the same way thinking black men have to think. Not just what I'm doing, but how is this benefiting the entire community? The community of thinking black men. Like one of the final things I'll say is, as thinking black men, every single thinking black man has some skill that he's proficient at. Something. It's something, no matter what. Even if he don't think it, he is. He got something that he's bringing to the table. And to make this work, to build something, to build communities and everything, you gotta have everything. You gotta have the person who can turn the rocks into radios, but maybe also you have to have the people who, they might have the gift of gab. They might be the ones who come up with the propaganda. You have the people who got the marketing. You have the artists. Art now. When I say artists, I don't mean just paintings and stuff, but writers, musicians. Now imagine if you had, some musicians out there, instead of saying some of the grating stuff that's being putting out some intelligent stuff that's uplifting the thinking black man. And I said this in one of the previous videos. What if, you get some dudes and they put together some video, or video one of these web series or something where the hero is, a thinking black man. It's like, and the beauty of that is you don't have to have just one. That's the beauty of all of this. You don't have to have just one dominant person in it. You can have about 50 urban farmers just starting out. You could have 1,000 urban farmers. You can have you could have 1,000 real estate investors, property owners. You have a few hundred public speakers. Shoot. You can have some actors. That, like, just a web series, just doing that actually creates more jobs. And I should just do a special video just on job creation for thinking black men, because you know what, once you create the community, you actually create needs, and you create demands for stuff, and you create jobs to fulfill those demands, to fulfill those needs. So I mean, we can really go, but I don't want to go too deep. But I just want to thank the inner circle for his comment, and is really a powerful one. It was a few paragraphs, but it was brief, to the point, just saying, look, this is where we need to go. So thank you. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.